for joining Supersiders Presents. This is episode number 10, and it's a very, very special episode. We have a special guest with us, Russell Winslow, the owner of Supersiders.
Hello, good morning.
And what we're here to do is we're just going to touch back on why Supersiders is here, how it started, and where we're going as a company. So let's just jump right into it. Russell, how did this whole entity even begin? What sparked Supersiders?
Well, back June 1st of 1990, we started as a siding subcontracting firm, and we did work for a lot of different general contractors as siding installers. Over the years, we thought we could do it better. So we took the plunge into the general contracting side of things and started running our own show, and our company's services evolved from just siding to windows and roofing and sunrooms, and in 2008 we got into interiors as well too. So we have a full array of services to offer our customers, and 32 years later we're still going strong and still gaining steam.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, that's really what it's all about, is helping people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you know, one of the things, Tanner, that we've always loved to promote is our wonderful products, right? You know, one of our core values is to be curious and make sure that we have the best practices and products. I think one of the products that we have that is kind of our staple is Permalock.
Yes.
Aluminum roofing solution meant for Minnesota, guys. I mean, this is one of the things that you want to entertain if you're living in our climate. So touch on a little bit of why you think Permalock might be one of the best solutions for roofing in our state.
Well, it's not a lifetime roofing product. It's a permanent roofing product. It was our Permalock XL is 25% thicker than the competitors' products. It's engineered for the harsh climate of the Midwest. We live in the harshest climate in the world. We can change 60 degrees in 36 hours. A lot of people don't realize that, but when it comes to having a product that's sustainable in this environment, you need to have not only a product's core, which Permalock is aluminum, but you also have to have the engineering behind it, and a company like Permalock that will stand behind it, make sure the coatings are proper. They've made sure that all their partnerships in line with our stuff, and our stuff aligns with their stuff, and when you have that, it's a successful product.
That's what I love to hear.
Yeah.
That's what I love to hear, because again, we have a big freeze-thaw cycle.
Right.
We want to make sure that those products are working properly with that, and then we want to make sure that they're not compromised at the end of the day. I mean, when you spend money, you want to spend it one time.
Right. Yeah, the people that seem to put out inferior products, those are the rich people. They can afford to do it over and over rather than once over.
Well said. Well said. And, you know, the last thing I want to bring up about Permalock is I don't really think people understand that the price point isn't out of their range as much as they assume. A lot of people that I've talked to about Permalock think that it's in the stars. You know,
Right.
Since it's a permanent product, how could I ever afford this? This must be for those guys, the Joneses, the people living on Lake Minnetonka. You know, and I found out that it's not. It's an average Joe roof that most people can afford, as long as they're being smart with their money, maybe doing a little financing, doing a little forethought. But that was one of the things that really jumped out to me when I started selling this product, was that I felt like it wasn't just for the higher end homes, it's for any home.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the market for a roof and you're only entertaining the lesser quality products that are out there because of a cheaper price, the sting that sticks around by making a bad decision definitely lasts a lot longer than the feeling that you get from the good price or the cheap price, if you would. Everybody that's buying roofing today is paying for a Permalock roof, one way or another. But the question is, are they getting it? If you're going to put on a temporary roof, like we see conventionally, it's going to last you 8 or 12 years. Safe to assume the product's going to go up 50% in a decade. So here you are, 10 years down the road, you're replacing it again, you've already paid for your Permalock roof. But you didn't get it.
It almost seems like a no-brainer. So the last thing I'd want to ask is, why do we feel most people are putting on temporary roofs? What is causing them that decision?
I believe it's education, getting the word out. I wish we had the resources and the finances to get out on every news channel and run commercials all the time, you know, to stand on the rooftops and scream it all out. But people just don't know about it. If they're educated properly and they're just put in a position to either buy it or deny it, most people are going to buy it. But it's getting in front of them, it's getting the word out enough to have them contact us to get in front of them, to give them this education. We're in an informational age. More and more people are doing it now. It's kind of funny when you think about it, because everybody thinks it's a new product.
Yeah.
There was one either installed in St. Paul, Roseville, or Maplewood, somewhere over there, that was installed in 1961. It's still there today.
That's pretty cool.
You know, I don't know of any of the other conventional roofing products that have been around that long on the same house. It just doesn't happen. This has, and it's been around for a long time, but getting the word out. You know, conventional roofing, it's manufactured in the United States and Canada. It's installed in the United States and Canada. I'm not a world traveler, but if you get out and over in Europe, in the European countries, they'd look at you like you're crazy if you built a house over there and put a conventional roof on it. Why are you putting a temporary roof on? You know, in England, they even have thatch roofs still, with sticks.
Or built up sticks?
Built up sticks, 3 feet thick.
Wow.
You know, but those will last 60, 70, 80 years.
Wow.
If they're done correctly. Don't smoke around them, of course. But,
yeah, no fires.
But if you brought over our North America's conventional products over there, they just look at you like you're crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
they even, in most portions of the world, they consider it as a temporary roof.
Yes.
They come here and they ask, what's going on with all the temporary roofs?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? Are you just driving past a place where there's a big windstorm or something? Or
Right.
no, they're just referring to the asphalt shingles.
Well, the more we talk about it, gang, it almost bothers me. It really does. I feel like, you know, let me make a plea. Folks, if you're watching right now and you're looking at this podcast and you've heard Russell say to you, Permalock is the permanent solution, I'm assuming you have a roof over your home. And if you own your home, please reach out to Supersiders today. Go to our website, supersiders.com, reach out to us at the office, and let them know. Russell told you about Permalock. We'll come out, we'll assess the roof, we'll give you a no-cost estimate, meaning that there's no charge for the estimate and assessment. We'll make sure that it's a good fit for you and it's a buildable project. And we would love to get Permalock out there. So don't hesitate, folks. Reach out to us. Great pitch on the Permalock. I'm ready to buy right now. I really am, because I feel like if I have a home and I don't want to deal with roofing issues, let's just get it done. Now, I understand there's upfront cost. I understand I don't have a money tree, but that's what financing is for.
Right.
Isn't that why they have banks, and that's why they have money, and other people's money is what, you know, rich people do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So-
Yeah, even with today, you know, we have great finance options that are, we can still offer 0% interest, no interest, no payments for 12 months. Even with the interest rates rising, we still have these deals, if you would, with our finance companies. We send them a lot of business. In return, they give us good rates to pass on to our clients.
Folks, we're scratching backs. We're getting really good opportunities here. Don't pass up these deals, because as you learned, after COVID and things like this, prices only jump up. So again, if you're in the market, reach out to us sooner than later and let's get you some numbers.
Yeah, and gang, really, let's not fall victim to the free labor, free installation. Nobody works for free, gang. Nobody. When it comes down to that, we would love to come out. We would love to give you some education about our Permalock product. We would love to give you an exact price quote, but I promise you it will include installation. We're promise makers, right? I mean, we go out and we do lip service. We tickle our customer in the ear. We tell them everything's going to be perfect. that's our job, right?
Right.
We're lip service. Our installers are the promise keepers. They're the ones that are factory trained. They're the ones that know what needs to be done to be installed properly. That's going to make it an entire successful component system that's going to be permanent. They're the ones that are responsible for all that. Don't you think we should pay them?
Well said.
I mean, come on. I mean, nobody's going to work for free.
Nor do you want them to.
Exactly. I mean, the promise keepers, they're the most important.
Of course.
Let's make sure they're taken care of.
Well said. Well, one of the other things I want to touch on that everybody's excited about in the state of Minnesota right now is the state fair.
Great.
Tanner, what are your thoughts on the state fair?
Well, I'm going there today. So I enjoy it. I've been there basically every single year besides the year shut down, and then I believe 2 years before that because I was out of the country.
No excuses. Play like a champion.
76?
Rule 56.
Yeah, but I like it a lot. I guess you've been there every single year besides the year shut down, right?
Yes and no. I mean, again, no excuses. Play like a champion. When COVID came along and they decided to cancel the fair, I went anyway. I didn't get my Pronto Pup. I didn't get my foot long, or I did kind of. Hopefully, this doesn't go viral because I did go in and I made my own corn, my roasted corn. So I had my corn. You gotta have that. And I tell you what. I just went to the fair a couple of nights ago. There had to have been a line outside that corn, the roasted corn, you know what I'm talking about. There had to have been a line of 700 people. If it was 2 people, it was 700. I mean, this line was long. I was in and out of there. They're maybe the most efficient vendor at the fair. It is absolutely amazing.
It
And
is.
for $4, you can have some of that.
A healthy snack.
Well, I mean, I butter
they
it
dip
up.
it in
I butter
butter.
it up pretty
Well,
good.
no, they dip it in butter. Or
But I
something,
heard it's
but
fat-free and no calories too.
It's not.
right?
It's not fried. Put it that way. It's not fried.
It's the
It's
most
better than that.
amazing thing. It's like having heaven in a bite. It's just absolutely amazing. I was in and out of there. Got 3 of them. I was with some other people, but I got 3 of those. I was in and out, $12, and I felt like a champion because I'm walking out after 45 seconds in line. That's it. I'm in and out of there, and oh my goodness, did I look like a champ when I brought the corn over to my wife? And I'm like, look what I got. Oh yeah, I looked like a champion.
What about that first bite? It's so hot, but you can't help it. You're just like, I gotta go in.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you're getting it. I mean, they hand out the toothpicks too, which I grabbed some, threw it in the pocket, then reached in, got it under the fingernail. Right, I went full circle on that. A lot of emotions going on. But you know what? Another thing I want to talk about. Hey, kudos to the corn people. Absolutely amazing. Showing my age here, but including the year where I broke into you guys' stand and made my own during COVID. All right, we know I'm joking there, but
I love it.
51 years running that I've been at the fair. It's amazing. And my mom, she'll probably try to say that I didn't have the corn when I was like an infant, but I think I figured it out. I mean, it's that good. I'm sure I had some.
I always go for one with a little burn on it.
Oh,
I always
you
I always
have
hold
to.
up and I kind of post up like, yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah.
And then they give you one with no stock.
Oh,
So you're
yeah.
trying to like hold on to the napkin. There's nothing there. You're like, hey, what's going on here?
I remember walking around the fair. Tanner was just a little one. We're running around. We had the little red cart for the kids too. I had our youngest Kira up on my shoulders. 'Cause that girl would not ride in a cart. She got to be on the shoulders.
You gotta
right?
hold them on the, yep.
So I'm holding hers, I'm eating my corn, right? Priorities. And now I feel all this stuff dripping down my neck. Because she's eating her corn and it's slopping down the back of my neck.
It doesn't
wasn't-
get better than that. And you just kind of took it. You're like, yeah, this is part of the fair. I can stop, but there's no point.
Right. Hey, now another thing I do want to touch base on, Rick's Pizza.
Never had it.
It's right across from the education building.
Okay.
Okay. They have a pickle pizza.
Pickle pizza?
Everybody's talking about it. I went with Darren and Denise, Des and I did, and they're super into anything social media. They're on top of it. I mean, if there's a video on TikTok,
You know about it.
they absolutely. And I'm not going to get into depth on this because I don't know what kind of program it is. Let's just say their feed is a little different than my feed on TikTok, but when it comes to that, they talking about all this pizza. So we went over, stood in line, had to have been 200 deep.
Ooh, that's
They
a
have
commitment.
they have 2 lines on
That's a
it.
commitment.
After waiting about 10 minutes, Darren and I decided to go get the corn. So we walked a country mile to go get the corn. Came back, the girls had just got the pizza. And I told Des, I said, Des, buy 10 extra pieces.
Yeah, yeah, you had to wait this long.
I don't want to eat it. I want to sell it to everybody in line.
Yeah.
For a small profit, I'm not going to make a ton of money. But you got to make some money, but I'm adding the service.
For profit
Right,
enterprise.
yeah, exactly. But all in all, 2 thumbs up on that too. I mean,
Okay.
good pizza.
Okay.
They could be a little more efficient on the
Oh my
lines.
gosh.
But it's super good to see. I don't think they're a new vendor. They may be, but I don't remember seeing them before. I'm not going to walk up and buy a piece of pizza from a vendor. There's so many other things at the fair that I want to just throw down. But this pickle pizza craze, or everybody's raving about it. So let's give it a shot. 2 thumbs up. It's good.
It's good to hear.
It's
give it a
it's
shot.
$9.
Well, but at the fair is cheap.
Right. Well, I thought the corn was cheap. I'd pay $9 for the corn.
The corn is phenomenal. The corn is one of those things, if you don't get a corn cob when you go to the state fair, you've missed out.
Right,
Period.
right. But paying $9 for a slice of pizza, I don't want to say I felt ripped off. I don't want to say that. But it was kind of like going to the movie theater and you saw a movie that was okay. But you kind of wish you waited till it came on DVD. Because it's a tall dollar. I mean, regardless of how good that tastes, because it does taste really good. When you factor in how long the line is, how long you had to wait, and how many other foods on a stick that you missed because you were standing in line.
Well, that's the thing, right? The over-under is this. How much can I eat? What's most important? And where's my time going to go?
Right.
Because at the 4 to 5 hour mark, no matter who you are, you get spent. And you're like, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm sick of looking at overweight people. I'm sick of smelling grease. Enough is enough. And say that as an overweight guy, right? You just get to the point where enough is enough. So
Right.
I try to do a few staples. Try to hit the horses. Try to get a few foods that I really like. And look for something new.
Yeah, we went over to that barn or whatever you want to go, where the horses and cows and pigs are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Well, was it the one where the horses and pigs stable, or is it the ones where they do the rodeo shows?
Yeah, so it wasn't the rodeo show. It was just where they're pooping. That's
That's just where they
They
live,
stay?
and that's where it's pretty pungent.
they say like 80 or 90% of taste is smell. I don't think I like the taste of poop
No.
because I don't like the smell of it.
And I've always wondered, you come right out of the horse barn, and there's like vendors right there serving their food, and people are eating it up. And I just thought, who wants to eat like a fresh Pronto Pub with the smell of poo right there?
And there's poop on the ground, and people they were walking through it. I swear to God, I saw them do it. They walked right through this.
Big
stuff.
horse apples, yeah.
It didn't matter.
No.
They're just like, yeah, it's part of the fair.
Minnesota, baby.
Yeah, it's part of the fair. But you know what? I'd stand in line on top of the poop
If the corn was there.
if the corn was there. If the corn is that good, you knew where I was going.
So I
That
got
corn
I
is
got to
good.
throw a shout out to somebody for the wrong reason. Efficiency is great in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Cookies, corn. These lines are epic and they move, right?
Yeah.
You don't stand there for that long. I go to get an espresso. I was like, I got a little gut rot. I ate a lot of grease. Let me, wash it down. Get a little bit of jive in me. Get some energy.
This is at the fair.
At the fair.
Okay,
So
okay.
I thought, let me stop at this little place over here called Java Jive. I've seen it around. Seems like great. It seems like it's got a couple lines moving. Bad decision.
Oh no.
It took me about 35 minutes to get an espresso this big, and the thing that got me was this. They had 8 people in the booth. 1 guy was working. I go to the other side. Oh no, we can't help you. This is for online orders. The 8 people in there are just messing around, kind of joking and playing, and I'm like, okay, I'm already waited 15 minutes in line. Like,
At
I'm
least they're
committed.
having fun.
Well, I'm committed. Now the guy at the front's taking his time making the little chai teas and whatnot and joking with the people, and I'm like, buddy, we're all over here. We're like waving money. And it got to the point where at like 20 minutes, I wanted to walk, but I was already committed. Got the espresso. At that point, I didn't even want it. It was cold. And I was just like, I just wanted to throw it back at the vendor. And I just felt like, You should almost have a sign of like a rating of like, is it worth it?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we should do something, as far as the people of saying like, is this worth the wait? Is this worth the pay? Is this worth the amount of time that I'm investing into this? Because like you said, I wish I just would have waited and got, a Caribou on the way home.
Right.
I could have went through a drive-through and been just fine, and I just felt like that was 30 minutes of my life at the fair I'll never get back.
Well, I'll tell you what, when it comes to that, I wish, if we could, throw wishes out there, I wish I could go back to 2014 when I talked to the state fair and I said, hey, next year we're going to be entering our booth as Permalock because we decided to switch products. And I'm not going to mention our old product. It's still a great product, don't get me wrong. But we decided to go to a United States based company, right? Let's keep the profits here in the great United States. We got a lot of different things by making that jump. We're not just a small little voice, we're a large voice with that company. Permalock does a lot of great things for us. But when we did that, the fair misunderstood what I was saying, and they said, yeah, just put that on the new application, no big deal. So that's what I did, but I also asked to be moved from the home improvement building back to the grandstand because we had more exposure there.
Oh, grandstand.
Just about all 2 million people go through there.
Yes.
And we sell 60% of our metal roofing out of the fair, so it's a very big deal for us. Which is, everybody sells siding and windows and, conventional roofing. Everybody does that, but we're the only ones that can sell Permalock.
Yeah.
This is a very big deal, and it was engineered here. So we don't go in there showing a million products. We go in there with one, just one. And when we put that on the new application, I asked to go back to the grandstand. Well, it got to be about June, and I still hadn't heard back, so I called them up, and I'm like, yeah, this is Russ with Supersiders. Just wondering if we, if our booth is going to be in the grandstand this year. And there's who is this? I'm like, Russ, Supersiders, Permalock. She goes, oh, Permalock, yeah, you weren't selected this year. Excuse me? We've been running a booth for 7-8 years. I always had people in the booth. Nothing more frustrating when you go up to a booth like at the home improvement building or anywhere, and there's nobody in the booth. And it bums me out when we are told as vendors that if you're not manning your booth, you could possibly not be asked to come back the next year. And it's a big deal. The fair is a very big deal. When we see our competitors, empty booths, things of that nature, or they're just being, just crazy over the top. Come on in, give it a try, spin the free wheel. Again, gang, nothing's free, right? It just bums me out when we see that kind of stuff. And here, we're out there trying to do the right thing. We have a product that's engineered and manufactured for our climate, and we haven't been able to get back in since 2014. It is frustrating, very frustrating. We could have a booth indoor, outdoor, in a tree. You see deer stands. I'll put a booth in a deer stand just so we can help get this word out. That's tough. That's really tough to see that. Hopefully, gang, maybe everybody can make a pitch. Get a hold of the fair. Let them know. Bring Supersiders and our Permalock roofing. Bring us back to the fair. We'd love to get back out in front of 2 million people and do nothing but educate them. It's a good time. It's fun. I love talking about it.
Amen. Let's do it. Help us out, folks. Please reach out to the State Fair. Let them know that you want to see Supersiders and Permalock at the State Fair so that you can get that roof on your home. I think it's been a great episode. Thank you, Russell, for joining us.
Thank you.
Supersiders Presents, episode number 10 has just concluded. Thank you, gang.
Thank you.